right, welcome everyone. It is Peter Crouch, the one and only humble host for Crash Course Radio, and I am live in the studio. That's right, it's not Memorex, it is live. Welcome everyone to another exciting show here at the amazing studios of 103.9 in Islip MacArthur Airport. Welcome to Crash Course, Long Island's first and only radio show dedicated to promoting and supporting the privately owned and operated auto body industry across the great fruited plain of Long Island. And most importantly, getting to talk to the folks. Get to talk to you guys out there, right? Been doing this for almost 2 years now. Pretty psyched, right? It's never would have thought we would we'd get this far, but we did, and it's been great. The progress has been great. Reaching out to the folks has been great, and this show has enabled us to obviously expand the reach of Collision Services Network, collisionservicenetwork.com. All right, that is the company. I am the founder and president of that company. All right, and that company exists for two reasons. Again, to support and promote the auto body industry here. All right, privately owned and operated. But more importantly, folks, and this is very important, all right, we stress that here all the time at Crash Course, it's to give you guys, all right, you folks out there within earshot of me, all right, it's to give you guys the information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust. All right, we've been doing that now for, like I said, close to 2 years. All right, collisionservicenetwork.com. I was launched about 3 years, all right, in support of that mission. All right, the mission was, of course, to provide an unbiased source, all right, of information and knowledge, all right, for people to go to and sift through on their own time, all right. There's a bunch of frequently asked questions and answers there, right? We do it here on the show as well. But most importantly, folks, about collisionservicenetwork.com is we operate a network, right? I know you hear me talk about that often here, right? We have a network of client business partners there, all right? The mainstay of which are our collision and auto body partners, all right? And these folks are operating, in most parts, small family businesses, all right? These are body shops, collision shops, and they are going to fix your car the way you want to, and not the way the insurance company, right? So we have built an alternative to the insurance company model, right? Prior to Collision Service Network, your only source of information when it came to getting involved with the good old auto body problem, all right, if you crashed your car or got in an accident, was either Uncle Joey or Louie around the corner, or maybe perhaps an auto mechanic that knew a guy to fix cars, right? But most likely it was going to be the insurance company, right? Because let's face it, most of us just don't put a lot of thought into the auto body side of things, right? We just don't think we're going to get in an accident. And I've dedicated episodes to that here, right? And there's good reason for that. And hopefully we've helped to kind of, break the mold on that, all right? Kind of shake people up a little bit, get you guys thinking about, other things and when it involves our cars, right? I mean, typically we think of what? Insurance, right? I got to get insurance. I got to have insurance on the car, right? I got to be covered for this, that, and the other thing. And then, like I like to say all the time, which is hysterical, right? It's funny, but if I do a man on the street and I run up to somebody and say, hey, your brakes are going, you need an oil change, or you need a tune-up, or, the wheel bearings are shot, or the car doesn't sound like it's running right. Nine times out of 10, people are going to be able to tell me right off the top of the head, oh, I go to my dealer, or I go to, Louis Auto Repair. But if I do the same thing with auto body, people stop and they scratch their head, right? And, of course, we know the reason for that, because auto body is a as-need, and auto repair is a need too, right? I mean, let's face it, folks. When your car's not working, you run into the mechanic, all right? Even if you don't want to go, you have no money, you'll whip out the credit card, you'll do whatever you got to do. We can't exist as a society without cars, right? So you get it fixed. You do whatever you got to do, right? Auto body, not so much. So collisionservicenetwork.com, all right, when we launched that company about 3 years ago, all right, that was the first of its kind. All right, it was to break the mold of the insurance company, break the grip of the insurance company, on both things, on the industry, all right, the auto body industry, and more importantly, though, on the folks. All right, and again, yours truly worked in that industry almost 30 years. All right, and the information you get there, it's not unbiased. Contrary to what most people probably thought. Right, they're like, oh, it's the insurance company. They want to help me. They're good people. They're nice guys. They're nice girls. Call them up. They're friendly. They want to help. Well, not really. All right? They're a business. Okay? What they'd like to help is themselves. I'm just being honest, folks. All right? They'd like to help themselves. They're going to help you because they have to. You have a contract. It says you wrap up your car, we're going to write you a check. Everything in between, everything in between that, All right, your insurance policy, and if you do this or that, we help you and write you a check, everything in between. That's all the gray area. That's all the gray. That's all the, well, let's see if we can do this, and this to get to that. All right, trust me, folks. All right, I'm not just a talking head or an academic, right? I work at V&J Auto Body, so I'm talking and walking this every day, right? But more importantly, I come from the insurance side of things, right? So I could speak directly to this. Right. A lot of things that the insurance companies come up with. I mean, the direct repair program is a great example, right? You've heard me talking about this since I got on the air. The DRP, right, or the insurance sponsored body shop program, right? This was like an epiphany for the insurance industry. When they finally got their arms around this, and were like, woo, we can actually recommend things, because prior to that, it was the biggest faux pas in the world. Forget about it. If a body shop got wind of an insurance company trying to quote unquote steer somebody somewhere back in the day, forget about it. All heck broke loose, right? I don't know if I'm allowed to say hell, but all hell broke loose, and and it got all kinds of crazy. And then if you wanted to do it officially, you had to fill out a disclaimer, and one part went to the state, and the other part went in the file, and the other part went to the policy. All the big mess. All right, you think what the heck you were committing there? Like you were committing a Harry Carey or business fraud or something. So now fast forward, here we are, 21st century, and it's the greatest thing in the world, right? Insurance companies they don't even remember the past anymore. What do you mean we couldn't send people here or there? Right now they can't do it fast enough. All right, so Collision Services Network grew out of that need. All right, that perception that I had, that need that I saw in the industry on both sides of the equation. All right, the folks, you and me, all right, we pay for our insurance every month, right? Every month, premium comes, send them a check. Or maybe some of us are fortunate if we do it once a year. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, you're going to pay. All right, and when it comes time to kind of cash in on that pay, right, investment, I know the insurance companies, anybody working in the insurance business right now, driving out there is probably cursing me out as banging the steering. Well, this guy's full of baloney. What do you mean investment? It's not an investment. You're paying for insurance. Yeah, I'm paying for insurance, and I know all about insurance. I got an associate's degree in claims law, and I got more pieces of paper hanging on my wall and this and that. But at the end of the day, folks, you're paying for decades, right? Some of us don't have an accident for 15 years, right? And then all of a sudden, it happens, right? Bam, accident. Oh my God. Never thought it was going to be me. 15 years. But it is. Right? And now you call the big old insurance company. Oof, I'm going to call my insurance guys, boy. Woof. I love these guys. I've been with them 15 years. I used to have stickers on my car telling them I love them and, this, that, and the other thing. And so I'm going to call them up and they're going to be right there to help me out. Well, yeah, in a way. Right? In a way. I mean, according to the contract, right? They said that if you banged up your car, right, or something else, they were going to write you a check. And that's what they do, folks. They write checks. That's what insurance companies do. They don't make widgets. They don't solve world hunger. They're not curing cancer. They write checks, right? So they write you a check. But how they write that check is where all the other nefarious stuff comes in. All right? And CollisionServiceNetwork.com is there to help you avoid all that nefarious stuff. All right? And one of the ways we do that in a big way is by operating our network of client business partners. All right? So when you need a body shop, you go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com and you pick one of our amazing network partners, and they're going to make sure that they walk the walk with you. All right, we got about 45 seconds to go before we close out this segment, and it is just pouring here at Islip MacArthur Airport. I don't know what it's doing in other places of the island, but I know when I was on my way here from the Lindenhurst Amityville area, woo, it's coming down. So everybody drive safe out there. All right, let you listen to the tunes, and we will see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back, everyone. Love that tune, Driver's Seat. Top 10. Well, actually, number one hit for those guys. Sniffing Tears, 1979. Never heard from them again. But sure, they made a boatload of cash with that. Welcome, everyone, back to Crash Course. I am your host, Peter Krausch. I am also the owner and founder of Collision Services Network. Thank you for stopping by. All right, if you just turn in the dial and you listen to my voice, hang in, hang on. All right, you're probably going to walk away scratching your head going, wow, I never thought of that. All right, that's what we like to do here. Read the things you don't want to read and listen to the things you don't want to listen to. And then we come on the air here, get behind this mic, and we disseminate information. All right, word of the day, disseminate. It's right up there with bloviate. All right, anyway, welcome again. Crash Course, the one and only, first of its kind, all right? Long Island radio show dedicated to the Long Island auto body industry, more specifically the privately owned and operated industry. Big distinction, right? I've made it here since we've gone on the air. All right, the folks that we support and promote, all right, are interested in you and you only. They have no affiliation with the insurance industry, and that is a really good thing when it comes to us, the folks. All right, insurance guys do their thing, and the collision and auto body guys should be doing theirs. But the lines are very blurred today, and in my humble opinion, the blurring of the lines has not resulted in a great outcome for the consumer. All right, good outcome for the insurance company. I can tell you that because I was on that side of the fence. All right, really good outcome for them. All right, they control costs, they control the process. It's great, and when things go wrong, it's even better. Because they get the shop that made it go wrong to fix it. Right? Doesn't always work out that way. I mean, most times the people don't want to go back there. I don't blame them. And they end up going to an independent shop, and then the insurance company's got to pay. But guess where the insurance company goes to get the money? They go back to their sponsored shop, their direct repair shop. Right? Great program, isn't it? No. Good program for the insurance guys, and that's good for them. Right? Because they're a business. Folks, remember, they are a business. And like any other business, they always look for ways to what? You've heard it here many times. Another one of our mantras. They are looking for ways to cut costs when, where, and often. Yes, and it starts the minute you pick up the phone and call to make your claim. All right? But don't do that. Call us first. All right? We like to say before you speak to them, you should be calling us. Calling us, of course, is picking up the phone and speaking to one of CollisionServiceNetwork.com's professionals or little old me. And you can do that by dialing 631-452-2569. Speaking of dialing, if you'd like to be part of the show today, you can do so by calling into the studio, 631-451-1039, 631-451-1039. If you want to comment, got something to add, something to say, all right? If you have a problem right now with an insurance company or a body shop, all right? Got equal pay here with that. All right, we've helped a lot of folks. We've helped a lot of folks. All right, we're proud of that. And on both sides of the equation, all right, body shop problems and insurance problems. All right, door swings both ways here. All right, so anyway, they ended up the segment, basically talking about CollisionServiceNetwork.com, the evolution of the company, why it exists, right, and what it can do for you. All right, speaking of CollisionServiceNetwork.com, I am totally psyched because I was just notified by my new web design team that we will be officially relaunching the new site next week. All right, so cue up the applause on that. That is a huge event for CollisionServiceNetwork.com. All right, I appreciate everybody's patience there with that. And if we caused you any undue frustration, all right, we apologize. All right, unfortunately, we were handed a very bad card. All right, we went to do business with a company that we thought was a legitimate operation. They turned out to be a fraudulent operation. We are taking legal action against them as we speak. Hopefully, we will prevail and be successful. If not, then they will be getting to know their local attorney general's office. I think that's hysterical. And anyway, we're really psyched. Looks like we'll be back online and back on track, bigger and better than ever. It's going to be, it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be off the charts this time. You're going to love it. All right, it's going to be ultra modern, ultra interactive, just filled with lots and lots of information and knowledge. All right, and most importantly, our dynamic network of client businesses. All right, now as I said, that includes auto body and collision. It also includes personal injury attorneys. Right, you get hurt. Anything, folks. You fall down, you slip, fall, right? Any type of liability claim like that, then give our folks a call, right? Personal injury attorneys. And, of course, we do have insurance brokers as well, all right? DKM Risk, all right? Lisa and her team up there in Hotbog. All right, Lisa and her team can handle anything, literally anything. All right, she's really big. If you're a contractor, all right, I know you guys. I know it's a tough boat to row there when you're looking for the right coverage. All right, or you need various documents. All right, then give DKM Risk Management and Lisa and her team up there in Hotbog. Give them a call. All right, and they'll be more than happy to help you out. All right, remember what I said, folks. Shop your insurance. Should be doing that twice a year. And what we mean by that is looking at your policy. Take 10 to 15 minutes every 6 months. Look at it. Look at your situation. Look at your policy. Look at your assets. Look at your vehicles. And then determine, do you have enough, not enough, too much? You might have too much. Maybe you got rid of something, right? But in most instances, you'll be unnervingly surprised to probably find out that you're undersecured, right? You're underinsured, right? And, of course, I don't have to tell you, the worst part to find that out is when you have a loss. All right, it's like people that walk into my office. They come into V&J Auto Body and they've had an accident. And they have to file a claim and we're getting them all set up. The car is not drivable. They drove it to me, but it's not drivable, right? Mirrors are torn off. The car's not driving right. The door won't close. The gate won't stay closed. All these things are safety issues. That car is not leaving my shop. So now we have to put you in a rental. Only to find out, okay, for whatever reason, they don't have rental reimbursement. All right, you're not covered. And that can be very expensive, folks. All right, for a middle-of-the-road car today, you're looking at $50 plus 75% luxury tax. I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like it's going to be a lot of money. All right, so please, take a look at what you have. Right, and I will tell you this. I tell the folks this all the time that come in my shop, right, all my customers. Rental reimbursements, not really rental coverage. All right, it's not meant to cover you. It's meant to offset your exposure there, your expense for rental. At any rate, it's usually pennies on the dollar, folks. It literally adds pennies on the dollar to your premium. All right, but it can cost you a heck of a lot of money and a lot of heartache. All right, when you come in and I have to tell you that we called your insurance company and you don't have the reimbursement. All right. So everybody's going to be checking that out tonight, right? Checking their policies, doing their homework, making sure they got the rental reimbursement, making sure you got your coverages where they need to be. All right, we've talked about uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. Very, very important here on Long Island, folks. There are a lot of people driving around with no insurance. All right, or if they have insurance, it's real minimal. Okay, happened to me. All right, your humble host. All right, it'll be a year ago to next month. I can't believe it. That's how fast that went. That I was involved in a car accident, pretty bad. All right, I was banged up, and I did my thing. Right, my case is still pending, but regardless, the point is that the individual that I happened to get introduced to that day just didn't have a lot of coverage, right? For whatever reason, they had a lot of assets. We found out a lot of money. But I guess they didn't feel it was important to be responsible enough to, cover themselves in the event that they were negligent or liable, stuff like that. So, fortunately, I do, all right? And that's the way that works. So, please, uninsured, underinsured. It's a requirement in New York State. It's not a requirement in every state. In New York State, it is required, all right? You don't have a choice. You will be given a minimal amount of coverage on uninsured, underinsured motorists, all right? Trust me, it's not enough. All right, so call up your insurance broker, your agent, or go online, whoever it is, whatever it is that you do, all right, to pay your insurance or add insurance, whatever you got to do, and find out what the dollar value is of the coverage you have on uninsured, underinsured, all right, and pay for the most you can afford. Okay? Please. Very important around here. There is a growing epidemic here of people without insurance or uninsured, all right? And, listen, I know everybody walks around. It's not going to happen to me. I'm a great driver. I'm a great driver, too, but I didn't do anything wrong. I was just in the wrong place, I guess, at the wrong time that day. So, and next thing you know, right, the old cliche, before you know it, your life changes right before your eyes, right? In a split second, everything changes. Literally, right? A second before, your life was this and you were doing that. Bam! Now, you're not. All right, so make sure you're checking your policies, all right, shopping your policies, and that's a homework assignment for tonight. All right, we got about 39 seconds left. When we come back, we're going to chat a little bit about, unfortunately, we'll be into the last segment. We'll close it out with some fun. We'll have a little fun. I'll talk about things that you should be looking for on cars and not really being concerned about when you're buying a new car. All right, welcome back, everyone. Well, I just want to let that song rip when I hear that. Welcome, everyone. Crash Course Radio in the final segment here. All right. You know, I said we're going to finish up having a little fun, and we are. All right. We're going to talk about something I found in one of the periodicals I read. It was regarding when you're buying a car. I was a little surprised. I mean, maybe you'll be as surprised as I was to find out a lot of the things they say you shouldn't even be bothered looking for, asking for. And I realize some of these things we don't have a choice anymore. They just come with the car, right? But it's, you know, we'll see. We'll go through it. Hey, before we get on that though, I remember last week at through the show, I was talking about halfway through the show, we were talking about electric vehicles, right? If you were with us last Tuesday, right, we were talking about the Tesla and the lithium batteries. And it's interesting because, you know, they like to always go on and on about clean energy and clean energy and cleaning up the environment and save the and all this other stuff. But when you really drill down into this, it's quite fascinating. So they say here, while electric cars reduce fossil fuel emissions once they are on the road, right? Duh. Or how do you do it? Duh. Kind of really a little bit of a pathetic statement, right? I mean, obviously, once the battery is installed in the car and the car's operating, it's going to function much less of a emissions impact than a combustible engine car, right? I mean, I don't even think that had to be written, but they wrote it. Once the batteries are produced and installed, the electric cars reduce fossil fuel emissions once they are on the road. Production of the lithium-ion battery, however, that power them causes more displacement of CO2 emissions than the production. How's that, folks? Okay? See, these are the dirty little details with all this. All right? I was surprised when I heard this. So the production of the lithium battery, that is the primary energy source for all these electric vehicles, right? It's the green energy source, right? It's the pure, clean car that drives around and doesn't have any impact on the environment. Well, unfortunately, before it became that, the battery that's in the car, all right, that allows the car to be the new green car and not have any negative impact on the environment, well, it had triple the impact on the environment when they were making the battery. Okay, you following that? That's right. 3 times the emissions, CO2 emission displacement, than is involved in the production of a combustible engine or regular gas-powered car. Fascinating, right? Disposal of the batteries at the end of their life cycle is another concern. Folks, some of these things are ending up in landfills already. Can you believe it? They're not supposed to, but that goes with any law. Right? You're not supposed to speed. You're not supposed to steal. You're not supposed to do that. People do it anyway, right? I mean, let's face it. The laws are written and then they're broken. Some of them are broken all the time and nobody even cares. So these things are ending up in landfills. They are ending up in garbage dumps. All right, well, listen to this. There are carbon dioxide and other greenhouse emissions that come with the process of extraction, okay? So in the process of getting the lithium out of the ground, it's a very, very energy non-efficient, okay, and negative impact on the environment. All right. But these batteries, okay, if they catch fire, right, this is fascinating. They said that some of these batteries, all right, may actually burn for years. Fascinating, right? So you have a battery that's going to explode or go on fire in a garbage dump or a landfill, and good luck. All right, because, if these things are under the ground or whatever, folks, I mean, you're going to basically, kind of reminds me of the coal mines, right? If anybody's familiar with coal mines. I mean, years ago, I don't think you hear about this too often, but it wasn't that far back where, coal mines would go on fire. And these fires would rage for years. They would burn for decades, just keep burning. I mean, 20 years later, you'd walk over there and you'd still see smoke coming out of the ground. Fascinating, right? So we're going to end up with the same situation here with lithium-ion batteries, all right? So I just thought I'd share that with the folks today. I think there was a study in Australia, it says here, lithium-ion batteries should not be disposed of in household garbage or recycle bins. They should be taken to certified recyclers. There is a study right here. These batteries contain less toxic waste than other kinds of batteries. A study from Australia found that 98% of lithium-ion batteries, not exclusively car batteries alone, end up in landfills. 98%. Okay? Again, we're not talking about the big bad battery that's in the Tesla or a Rivian car or any of these other high-end cars, all right? Obviously, those things are going to most likely get disposed of, in some orderly fashion consistent with, environmental rules and stuff like that. But, folks, there are lithium batteries everywhere. Just think about the first time you saw them, right? The little lithium batteries in the battery pack. Wow, lithium battery. Everybody thought that was like, woof. I don't have a copper top battery anymore. Forget Duracell. I got lithium. Nobody even knew what the hell lithium was, but, it looked cool. It sounded cool. So apparently all these things are now ending up all over in these landfills. All right. The massive influx of batteries in the landfill significantly increased the likelihood of landfill fires that could conceivably burn for years. So we're going to have lithium-ion batteries that are supposedly helping us live this amazingly clean environment, clean world, and these things are going to be littering all over the place. And God forbid one blows up or one goes on fire, and this thing could literally burn for years. And good luck putting this thing out, boy, let me tell you. One landfill in the Pacific Northwest is reported to have seen 124 fires between June of 2017, December 2020, due to lithium-ion batteries. Consequently, fires are becoming more increasingly common. 21 fires reported on the site in 2018, rising to 47 by 2020. I don't know what's going on out there in the Pacific Northwest. Apparently, these people are just throwing these things willy-nilly everywhere. But anyway, I just hope that just brought a little perspective for people that were delving into the world of electronic vehicles and EVs and climate, green energy, climate gods and stuff like that. Just a little food for thought, folks. All right. Sometimes you drill down into these things, it's not quite as pure as the wind-driven snow, right? I mean, there's a lot of other moving parts apparently involved with this drive to the new clean world, all right? The new clean energy world. Not that clean, all right? And I don't know how many people have thought this through, but this is apparently going to be a huge problem. It kind of reminds me of back in the 60s and the 70s when we were really getting on board with nuclear energy, right? During my time when I was in school, we had the 3 Mile Island problem. If anybody remembers that, 3 Mile Island nuclear plant in Pennsylvania, the thing had some kind of a partial meltdown or one of the reactors, the cooling rods heated up or something. I don't know. I remember I had to write a paper on the thing. And all I know is when they got done with that debacle, that pretty much sealed it for nuclear energy in the United States. Okay? Forget it. I don't think we built one more nuclear plant after that. All right? But same problem again. Okay? Same problem. Nuclear energy. Woo! It's going to be great. It's clean. It's efficient. The problem is nobody knew what to do with the plutonium. I mean, they're like, oops, sorry about that. Plutonium, the most toxic substance in the world. Oh, and it can be used to make explosive thermonuclear devices. What are we going to do with it again? It's hysterical. So I think we're starting to look at the tip of the spear with that, with the lithium-ion batteries. All right? Anyway, so we got about 1:30 left. So here we go. Here's a little fun. All right? The whole show is fun. All right? What I like to say here on Crash Course, it's entertaining and educational. And it's all free. All you do is tune the dial to 103.9 Tuesday afternoon from 3 to 4, and you get me free. No charge. It's amazing, right? Hey, folks, can you believe this? If you're looking to buy a new car, all right, here's some things that they say you should avoid. All right? I guess what they mean by this, if it's an option, you shouldn't worry about getting it. Manual transmissions, onboard navigation. That's kind of obvious, right? convertible and sunroofs, right? And I'll tell you from a body shop perspective, they all leak. They're all going to leak, folks. Adaptive headlights, another waste of money. Adaptive cruise control, touchscreen media. Folks, the adaptive headlights are a big waste of money, all right? I can tell you that from the body shop perspective, all right? They don't actually turn around curves and that like they should. So the marginal added benefit regarding the cost, to me, it's not something that's offset. All right, so there's a little fun there. We only have 30 seconds left. Folks, we're coming up on the end of another amazing Crash Course Radio. I apologize again for getting in here a little late, all right? Sorry about that. Got hung up with that horrendous, atrocious weather on Sunrise Highway. All right, everybody drive safe, stay dry, all right? Enjoy summer, and we'll see everybody back here next Tuesday.